AI gives you this extra superpower of being able to solve the unsolvable. All of those AI tools that we now have fully in production have all been done in order to make us operate more efficiently and to make our staff operate more efficiently. However useful and powerful AI is for us, it's equally powerful to fraudsters, and it's equally powerful to bad actors in the industry.
Hello and welcome to the Finance Insider, brought to you by Times Radio in partnership with Elavon. I'm excited to be joined today by someone who's helping shape the future of payments. We'll discuss where technology, finance and customer needs are all headed and how that direction keeps the industry moving forward. We'll get into new payment trends, the push towards faster and more secure digital transformation, and what all of this means for creating smoother, more intuitive financial experiences for you. Today's Finance Insider is Elavon's Head of Strategy, Scott Frisby. Scott, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's start off with really the basics. What is going on in the world of payments right now?
We can't start any payments discussion without talking about AI.
Okay.
When we look at what market actors are doing with AI, over the last year and into the next year, there's been a real push on building out capability. And that capability is mostly deployed on back office functions. So making all of the processes more efficient, cutting out costs, stripping out unnecessary processes. And certainly we at Elavon, like others in our field, have been focusing on things like onboarding, disputes resolution, customer service, et cetera. So all of those AI tools that we now have fully in production have all been done in order to make us operate more efficiently and to make our staff operate more efficiently.
When did you start doing that?
We started doing that at the end of 2024, and then 2025 were pilots. One of the keystones of AI is that it allows you to move so much faster than normal processes and projects. So we really learned quickly, deployed it all. We're a regulated business. All the regulated businesses that are focusing on AI or that are using AI at the moment really have to work hard to make sure that they're getting the accuracy and that the models are accurate. And so we were fortunate to have that. This year, I think a lot in the industry are going to be pivoting toward using it for more front-end applications. So this is really about helping our salespeople have at their fingertips customized information about our products, about our pricing, and we'll be able to go to potential merchants and partners with highly customizable proposals, really independent kind of service stacks of products and pricing. That's a real promise that AI promises to give us this year.
Well, that in conjunction with everything else, what do you think has been the biggest benefit that AI has brought payments?
First, I'll talk about the biggest risk, I think, because we can't...
They go part and parcel.
They do. They go hand in hand. And what I would say about the biggest risk is that however useful and powerful AI is for us, it's equally powerful to fraudsters, and it's equally powerful to bad actors in the industry. And so a lot of the creative energy that might have been spent on creating really interesting products has gone instead to make sure that we are focused on protecting everyone else in the ecosystem. But the biggest positive impact, of course, is that it is, as I referenced before, it gives us the ability to treat merchants like a segment of one. So instead of saying this is our hospitality offering or this is our retail offering, we can give any one merchant or partner a very, very highly customized offering very quickly at low cost and with high accuracy based on their past behavior, based on what we know merchants are demanding in the market. So all of that together means that we're probably going to see a world in which very, very highly customized offers are the norm.
With AI and the emergence of AI, it really has felt, in the last 5 years that it's come out of nowhere. To someone who's not really following along with tech, have you found implementing AI into Elavon stressful or more of an exciting chapter?
Well, I think it's super exciting. Little bit of stress. I think anytime you get something that's new, you in the first meetings, you're sitting around a table and everyone's looking at each other going, well, who's going to speak first? What are we going to do first? But I think one of the one of the key insights for us is realizing that it really is an accelerator. It makes things go much faster, and also realizing that there are no stupid demands that we can make of it. The really important thing, though, is to make sure that we remain truthful, accurate, and that we make sure that we work with the technology as it develops.
Payments are often seen as the back end function or utility. Can you tell me about how payments are currently considered, but what benefits are that a business can gain from it?
Utility. we hear that metaphor used sometimes. There's another metaphor we can use, which is that it's the lifeblood. It's the lifeblood of any business, because when your payments work well, you as a merchant know that that the transaction is complete and that the money is going to be coming to you very, very, very quickly. And on the flip side, when the payment infrastructure works, when as a consumer, when you are checking out, whether in a physical point of sale or in an app, when you get that little ting that tells you that the payment transaction is completed, you know that you're going to get your good or service. So it really is at the heart of that transaction. So all of the fun stuff, which is about the browsing and the product selection and choosing the sizing and the color, all of the stuff that's related to the actual shopping experience, we want payments to be the cherry on top, to use another metaphor, so that it ends the experience on a really positive note.
How much do you think businesses were struggling with the money actually getting into their account before this?
Well, so sometimes it's the time they have to wait for the money to get into their account, and also making sure that they can match the money that's coming into their account with the transactions that have happened at the point of sale. Because historically, these two systems ran in parallel. So you had the system that you used to manage your shop, and then you had a payment system. And then someone somewhere, and if you're in a smaller business, that's mostly the manager or the owner. So it was really laborious. But someone somewhere would have to make sure that those two systems were reconciled, and you knew which transactions applied to the deposit you were getting. So all of the tools and services we have now with our integrated payments and our integrated commerce software offerings, we give our merchants the ability to manage the totality of their business, from their inventory to their payments, to their staffing levels and scheduling, all within a single package. And it makes a business owner's life so much easier.
How do you think a business can balance innovation and efficiency while also not overcomplicating their payment stack?
So there's a big challenge for the merchants at the moment because, as I said before, historically, they used to run their businesses across various domains, like a commerce domain, a shopping domain, a payments domain. And now they have to upgrade their offering. And that is daunting. And you're right, it can be overcomplicating. I think one of the things they could do is look at their potential partner, or look at the partner they're already working with for payments and say, do you have a strong track record in payments? Do you have high levels of customer satisfaction from other merchants? And do you have experience expanding the scope of your activities from just payments into other things and doing it successfully? So one of the things we're very proud of at Elavon is that historically we were a payments specialist. We remain, payments is the primary focus of our activity, but we also have a commerce software offering. So we've moved and expanded our scope of services seamlessly. We can offer so much more to our merchants now. So to any other merchant who's thinking of changing, not wanting to be overwhelmed by their payment stack, looking for providers who've been able to execute that for others in the past is the first port of call.
Just finally, Scott, what piece of actionable advice would you give our listeners about, for 2026?
If I could go back to AI, I would urge everyone to do this exercise, which I and my team did at the beginning of the year, which is that we sat down and we looked at 5 of our most intractable problems. These are ones that we've wrestled with, and for reasons, maybe as an enterprise, we haven't always been able to solve them. And then we said, how can AI actually help us solve what we thought up until now were either too difficult for us to do. AI gives you this extra superpower of being able to solve the unsolvable, or at least to come up with a plan of how it might be attacked.
Elavon's Head of Strategy, Scott Frisby, thank you very much. That's all we have time for today on this edition of the Finance Insider, brought to you by Times Radio and Elavon. See you next time.